Okay, good afternoon, viewers. I'd like to welcome you to Channel Sports on Sunday. This is the segment we call the football segment, the segment that we try to update you with what is going on in the world of football. My name is Eitayo Balogun Jr. I'm not going to do this segment alone. I have two guys that when they talk football, you should take the words to the market. I mean, they do know what they say when they try to analyze the game football. I'd like to welcome Nodi to my immediate left, and to his immediate left is Larry Pina. Look, sharp, bro.
Well, it's a pleasure to be in the studio.
What's going on?
Well, the fact that we are in the semi-final of the African Nations Cup and Nigeria is not there.
Yeah, no, I know.
That's what's making you smile.
Is that making you happy? No, but I mean, some people have not enjoyed the Nations Cup, basically because the Super Eagles are not participating in this particular tournament. But I think we have some positives to take away from this tournament. We're going to get to talk to you about the Nations Cup. We're going to start with the Super Six. The Super Six is currently taking place in Abuja, and 6 teams are currently participating at that tournament. We have the Flying Eagles, the under-23 side, Kano Pillars, Enyimba, Dolphin, and Warri Wolves. Remember, Super 4 it used to be last year. Champions were Enyimba. They would have come into this game defending the Super 4 tournament, but it's now a Super 6. So it's going to be more of an inaugural champion should Flying Eagles get awarded. Remember, Flying Eagles are currently leading the table. They get to play the last game today. They're actually champions of the Super 6. We're going to start with that. So far, the fixtures of today's game, I will come on your screen right now. I'm going to start with you, Nodi. Super 6. Beyond expectations, the Flying Eagles went into this tournament. We thought they were probably going to struggle against the big boys, but they look like that they're better side. I mean, going into this particular tournament.
Oh, good afternoon. I think it's a product of a long
Preparation.
Camping. It's just you can't compare the level of preparation from the Flying Eagles because they started since last year. With the club, we just finished the season on the 16th. Played the Federation Cup on the 23rd. They went on 1 full month break or thereabouts, and some of just resumed early January, and you are up again for the pre-season tournament. So it's a different ballgame. But I'm not making an excuse for this club. You should have known that the Super Six will come up at this point, or if not, then you have the CAF Confederation Cup or CAF Champions League this month. You have to start preparing, and you put your house in order, even though you want to take an excuse that there is no funding from the government, but you have to make do because no matter what you think, football will still be football, whether the government could there or not. So what do you do in place of shortfall or inadequacy within the government in trying to get some funding for these clubs? So it's a two-way thing, but the Flying Eagles have shown how consistent they've been in terms of preparing.
Are you not worried? I mean, before I ask Larry this question, are you not worried that these guys will be going to the continent? Kano Pillars, Enyimba, Dolphin, and Warri Wolves struggled in this tournament. Kano Pillars, well, a step better than the other 3 sides.
I think that's the beauty of this tournament. At least for the club to learn a few lessons, to see that we have a lot of holes to fill. These are the areas we can address, and that's what we've seen. We saw the last game, that was the Flying Eagles' defeat of Dolphins, that 2 players from Dolphins got sent off in that game. So, indiscipline issue. So, for Coach Stanley Gume, he's going to look at how they can manage their players' temperament, because when you go to the CAF Confederation Cup or the CAF Champions League, it's a different proposition. The stakes are high at that level. So I think it's a whole lot of adjustment had to be done to some of this team. But be that it may, the Flying Eagles is still another avenue for Samson CSA to beef up the squad. Let me tell you what it means. By the time they go for the African Youth Championship, they get a ticket to the World Cup. They get to the World Cup. After the World Cup, they are still eligible to play hard enough 23 level. So it's a large score for CSS. They had a lot of options.
Now, will this not rubbish his effort with the 62 guys that he has? I mean, I went to 32.
No, I said options. I'm not saying replacement.
No, I know. But you've made some very valid suggestions, really, because what you've said, if I get you correctly, is on the 20 side, should also form a pool for Samson CSA to actually pick 1 or 2 guys to join his under 23 side. I'll play against Gabon later on in the year. But having said that, we'll come back to that particular point. Let's look at the under 20 side. I mean, they've had fantastic. That's the only team that has maximum points going to this game against the under 23 side. Which even if they lose, I mean, they can go ahead and they could go home with their head held above the shoulders as it stands. Are you satisfied with the Managaba side? Do you expect more from the way they've played, or do you think they're good enough to actually go ahead and conquer the world, starting from with Africa?
I'm actually last week, I said it emphatically that they will win. I didn't use they may. I used they will win this tournament, judging by what I saw them play. The previous day. I think they've been very good. They play as a coordinated unit, and you would expect that they would even win the last game against under 23 and get all 15 points available. Having said that, there's still a lot of boys who are missing from this team. Diwan Kali, Zianacho, Isaac Success, and co. When they join in, it will be a more formidable squad.
Yep.
Having said that, I think Manu Garba has the world at his feet. I think this crop of boys for the Russia 2018 and Qatar 2022, if we follow this same pattern of continuity, Nodi said something that they have had a long preparation, they've been together in camp. Beautiful, but this bunch of lads look like lads that you would wake up and bring them together 2 days. They seem to know how to play. What resulted in the 2 yellow cards he was talking about temperament? Those boys started to show boats against your elders, and those ones didn't know how to take it anymore.
So they felt insulted?
They felt insulted. How can these small kids be? It was a case of you not being able to control yourself. That how can these small kids be toying with us? 4 goals to 1. It was 3 goals to 1 at that point. At that point in time. Having said that, I've seen a lot of boys who have come into their own for other teams. Sikra Adewale for Warri Wolves, he seems to have taken over for where Bola Salami stopped. Also, Christian Obiozo, Rangers, he moved to Kano Pillars. He's also doing well there. And here and there, brilliant flashes. You expect that by the time this is over, they'll be able to analyze what has gone wrong, do a proper critique, pros and cons, and then they'll get better on the continent.
All right, if you can get to see what the fixture of today's games will be on your screen, you should come on your screen any minute from now. We'll be Warri Wolves taking on Dolphin. Dream Team 6, we'll be playing the Flying Eagles by 3 p.m. And the last game of the day will be between Kano Pillars and Eyimba. As it stands, under 20 side on top of the table, they have maximum points, 12 points, after playing 4 games. In second, we have the Dream Team occupying the second spot, and we have Eyimba in third, Kano Pillars fourth, Warri Wolves fifth, and Dolphins sixth. This Dolphin side have a goal, no points, not won any game. It's sad. It's been a bad tournament for them.
It's a precision. It's a learning curve, but it's still another way of saying I'm not ready for the challenges ahead. It's another way of saying so.
Wow.
But they can still
So
go back to the
Dolphins should be scared right now. They
shouldn't be worried. But it's just an opportunity because if the tournament has not been, because they still have some other friendly to play, the clubs should see this as those platforms where you can show what your players can offer. The ones you brought into the club, the ones who were still there, those who were asked to go. And of course, you could see from this table, from the Flying Eagles, they scored, they played 4. They lost nothing, but they had the good difference of 12 points. As we said, maximum that gives them that unassailable lead. The Dream Team 8 points, so they emerged champions. But today's game is going to be formality. Eyimba third, but that game is key for Eyimba to jump to second. They have to win their game against Kano Pillars, and of course Kano Pillars is fourth. Warri was fifth, and Dolphins, you just mentioned Dolphins, they have a minus 7 goal difference. So somebody sarcastically said, the first 2, the national team, the second 2, the Champions League team, the last 2,
Confederations Cup team.
Well, I don't know. What else do you have to add?
Nothing more to add except the fact that the national teams have shown better preparedness for this. And whoever had the idea of actually bringing them into this tournament, we must give kudos to the person. Because right now, if those lads, the 4 teams now, Kano Pillars, Dolphins, Warri Wolves, and Eyimba, if they had allowed them to play their traditional Super 4, Eyimba would have been feeling like kings right now, followed by Kano Pillars, thinking they are kings, we are the best in the land. But they've tried their mettle with under 20 boys and under 23 boys. And you've seen that, well, when it comes to football, we are not as prepared yet. And as I said, it's just pre-season, so they will put their acts in order and then try to see if they can take it the next level on the continent. But as it stands, the table is not lying. Eyimba, I think, is still the best team, pound for pound,
amongst the
4 teams in Nigeria, and they've proven it so far.
I would have Kano Pillars the way they started, though.
That could be debatable.
Yeah,
it could be debatable. Yes, you can't say Eyimba because we've seen the last 4. Yes, on the continent, Eyimba looks the most formidable. In Nigeria, but on this local scene, you give it to Pillars.
Don't forget they get to play today. I mean, Kano Pillars on Eyimba today.
I said pound for pound. If you take Eyimba and Kano Pillars to a neutral venue, pound for pound, Out of 10 times, Enyimba like
The only thing that
win 7, 8 times.
The only thing that will do that.
For Kano Pillars, what they have going for them is that in that Kano Stadium is a no-go area.
Okay, guys, we don't need to. Let's not flog this. They're going to play for later tonight about 6 p.m. or 5 p.m. 5 p.m. And it's a neutral ground. I played in Abuja. That's kind of plastic on the game, but we would love to see that game. I mean, I'm sure they're listening to you right now, so they want to impress and make sure that actually they try to restore Canopilas, talking about Canopilas, and restore the glory. Should they win this game, they probably will go ahead of Enyimba. They will be tied on points though, but I mean they probably will go ahead of Enyimba with goal difference. And the game between Warri Wolves and Dolphin will actually secure Warri Wolves in third. Even if they lose, Dolphin probably will finish fourth, because if you consider the goal difference, unless they score as many goals, talking about Dolphins against Warri. All right, guys, having said that, we wish them all the best, and we think we enjoyed the Super Six. I mean, it was fantastic. I mean, we should see more of these. I'll probably get the Super Eagles involved sometime too, maybe in the next edition. I don't know if it's going to be possible, but I mean, we like the format of the Super Six, and it was interesting. Having said that, let's talk about the Nations Cup. Nations Cup currently taking place in Equatorial Guinea. So 2 quarterfinal games were played yesterday. We saw 2 quarterfinal games played out yesterday, and we have 2 semi-finalists that already secured tickets into the semi-final situation. I'd like you to give me an overview. Give us an overview of the Nations Cup. Have you been impressed? I mean, a lot of people have compared it with the last Nations Cup that the Super Eagles actually won. Unfortunately, we're not here to defend it. But we are just 4 goals. As at the time we finished the Nations Cup, the first round of games, we're probably 4 goals short of what happened in 2013. But look at the element of surprise, the guys that have come in to play. The games played yesterday. Congo, the Red Devils, that actually were responsible for part of the teams that were responsible for the Super Eagles not participating at this year's tournament, were leading 2 goals. And Congo DR came 2 goals down, equalized, and defeated them 4 goals to 2. The second game was Tunisia and Equatorial Guinea. Equatorial Guinea, enjoying massive support from the home crowd, came from a goal down, got an equalizer, and scored in the extra minute.
Well, for the first game, the game of 2 Congos, for Claude, the team he led to the last Nations Cup was accounted for his outside at this level is painful, but that's football. They had their 2-goal lead in the first 15 minutes of the first half, but the other Congo, the one from Kinshasa, they came smoking, and they were almost on one pitch, and they got that victory. That's good. The game between Tunisia and Equatorial Guinea, I think the referee, the center referee, the referee from Mauritius, the same referee that officiated Nigeria, South Africa, and Uyo, that I don't want to remember that incident. I'm not saying it was at fault. The penalty awarded to Equatorial Guinea was too soft, was out of fit. Actually, the referee became the man of the match.